California does not feel expensive because of one bill. It feels expensive because every bill hits at once. Rent, gas, groceries, insurance, taxes. A household can survive one high bill. The problem starts when all five hit the same paycheck. Some of these costs are the ones everyone expects. A few of them catch people off guard, and those are usually the ones that push a family from staying to leaving. By the end of this, you will know exactly where the pressure is coming from and where it hides. Start with housing, because it is the cost people feel first. In Los Angeles, a one-bedroom apartment can easily sit around $2,000 to $2,400 a month, depending on the source and the neighborhood. Move north into the Bay Area, and that number can climb much higher. A couple can have a decent combined income and still feel stuck, because rent eats the first part of the paycheck before the month even begins. Buying is not an easy escape from that pressure either. In parts of coastal California, a modest home can cross $1 million. In cheaper inland markets, the number can be far lower, but it still takes real income to qualify. This is where the pressure starts. When rent takes that largest share of income, people adjust, not with drama, just with math. Roommates become less of a college habit and more of a long-term arrangement, even for people in their 30s and 40s. Shared housing stretches a single paycheck across 2 or 3 people instead of one. Commutes get longer because moving 20 or 30 minutes further out can shave a few $100s off the rent. That trade shows up later as gas money and lost time, but it is often the only lever people have. Home ownership gets pushed back, sometimes by years, while renters wait for a raise, a second income, or a market shift that may or may not come. None of this is a personal failure. It is what a tight rent market does to a paycheck. And that is before the next bill hits. California gas can sit around $5 a gallon or more. And in some Los Angeles area stations, prices have pushed closer to $7. Not everywhere, and not for everyone, but often enough that drivers plan around it. This is the number people feel every week, because most of California is built for cars. Public transit exists, but for a lot of jobs in a lot of neighborhoods, it is not a real replacement for a vehicle. That means gas is not an occasional expense. It becomes a recurring bill that follows you every week, every time the tank runs low. The rent problem is only the first layer. A single adult in Los Angeles can spend around $400 to $500 a month on groceries, depending on neighborhood and shopping habits. That is before eating out, before convenience purchases, before anything beyond the basics. For a lot of people, this is the bill that feels the most personal, because it is not a once-a-month number. It is a checkout total, felt 2 or 3 times a week, every single week. A grocery run that used to feel routine can start to feel like a decision. What goes in the cart and what gets put back? This is where California becomes a paycheck problem for homeowners specifically, not just renters. For homeowners, insurance is no longer a background cost. In lower risk areas, premiums can sit in the low thousands of dollars per year. In wildfire-exposed areas, that same bill can climb into zones have been dropped by standard insurers altogether and pushed into the state's FAIR plan, a coverage option built for people who cannot get a normal policy. It can keep someone insured, but it can also make the monthly math much harder. This is not just a homeowner problem. It changes who can qualify for a mortgage, who can actually afford to buy, and who can afford to stay once they already own. A rising insurance bill does not show up in most relocation conversations. It should. California does not take money from one place. It takes it in layers. State income tax is graduated, and the top rate reaches 13.3%. That top rate applies to high earners, not to every paycheck, but most households do pay based on their own bracket. And California's state income tax reaches higher than most states. Sales tax adds another layer. The state base rate is 7.25%, and with local additions, the average combined rate lands close to 9%. Then, there is the gas tax, which is baked directly into every fill-up and adds to a price that is already high before the tax is even counted. None of these numbers are dramatic on their own. Stacked together, they take a steady bite out of income that never really goes away. Here is what that stack can look like for one hypothetical renter. Not a statewide average, just an example. To make the pressure concrete: rent, $2,300. Groceries, $450. Utilities and internet, $250. Transportation and gas, $500. Add that up, and a renter can hit $3,500 a month before savings, before debt payments, before childcare, and before any serious healthcare cost even enters the picture. That is not an extreme example for someone renting alone in a mid to high cost California city. This is the number that turns a good salary into a tight budget. So, who ends up looking elsewhere? Often it is renters without a rent-controlled unit, homeowners facing an insurance renewal that jumped without warning, families trying to save for a first home while paying someone else's mortgage through rent. When people start running the numbers, a handful of places come up again and again. Nevada, Arizona, Idaho, Texas, even lower-cost inland parts of California itself. None of those are a guaranteed win. Each one comes with its own cost structure, job market, and trade-offs that need their own math before anyone packs a truck. California is not impossible for everyone. People with strong incomes, remote flexibility, or family support can still make it work. But the margin for error is shrinking, one bill at a time. If this kind of real monthly math helps you avoid a bad move, subscribe before you sign a lease. Drop the state or city you want tested next in the comments, and we will run the numbers.